Aloha and welcome to the PUNAtic Punk Rock Podcast. I am your host, Time Citizen. We're now citizens because there's been a revolution in Time Country. It used to be a kingdom, now it's a republic, and all the lords have lost their titles. We still have the same privileges. I could do everything a Time Lord does, but now we're called Time Citizens.
Where's Time? Where's Time Town or Time? What is it called? Time City?
Well, right now it's the Time Republic.
Where's that located?
In time.
But where?
I don't know what's so confusing about this. And I'm here to bring Reshredorator on a trip through the past, bring him forward to the present, and perspective of somebody else's eyes. Well, many people's eyes, because I got a story. Or really just a board with a bunch of threads and pins, bunch of pins connecting one thing to another, and I want to share this conspiracy with you.
All strings and pins.
I'm calling it the Ballad of David Carr, or Dave Carr. He goes by either one, Dave or David Carr.
Who's Dave Carr?
We'll find out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna bring you back, way back to 1979, Oahu. And there's a bunch of kids. One guy, Rudy Trubit, or sometimes he goes by Rudy Tremolo.
Little Rudy, maybe, I don't know.
He's been in a number of bands, but he meets up with one of his friends called Kevin Carr, or as he goes by Kev Carr. I guess it's better alliteration. And they write this song and for Rudy Trubit's new band. Now it's what it is, but right now I'm just establishing a few characters. Rudy Trubit, Kevin Carr. And there's other also great characters here right now. The bassist for this band kind of came in late when this band formed, Bino Schatz, who plays bass, but as you'll see later, as we go forward in time, as you know, forward in time's easy to do,
right?
When traveling.
Okay, so we got Bino,
mm-hmm.
We got Kev Carr,
mm-hmm.
And we got, what was the first one?
Rudy Trubit, or Rudy Tremolo is his stage name.
We're gonna go with Big Rudy.
Big Rudy, yes, we got Big Rudy. And they are part of this band called the New Dreamers. In 1979, they came out with this song written by Kev Carr and Rudy Trubit called 666 the Antichrist.
Fuck yeah.
And they've made this little song and played it around Oahu for a while, but let you get a taste of who's playing and what they're doing. Here is 666 the Antichrist by the New Dreamers.
666. What this country needs is someone to lead them, to take up their power, to curse and bleed them, make them a power both fit and respected. To help words and trade pride resurrected. Start looking for the brand new Christ. Watch out for the war hero. Beware of the anarchist. Now don't be caught on ground zero. If this country's got this bad times in sight, a lot of bad problems and armored bears might. Will eager survive to make things alright? I will in perish in flames in unavoidable fight. Start watching for the brand new Christ. Look out for the war hero. Beware of the anarchist. Now don't be caught on ground zero. No! Look out ahead, it's coming up fast. The fabulous new Joshua will be a blast. But a bat out of hell might be nicer to face than the possible end of our good old red race. Oh shit! Be prepared for the time of the bust. But you may survive, don't do what you must. Don't be surprised when you're back to the wall. If you find yourself that you can kill after all. You can kill after all.
All right, that was the New Dreamers with 666 the Antichrist. Kind of like a Sex Pistols with a keyboard.
Fuck yeah.
And they played for a
Great.
few years together. Then they played a couple shows on Oahu. But who was it? I think it was their guitarist, Brian Lai, and Rudy had kind of a musical separation where Brian went off to play in another band called Hat Makes the Man. Sounds kind of like Creedence Clearwater, except more lo-fi. They're not
Okay. But lo-fi because of the times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas Rudy and Bino went on to make another band. Bino took over singing instead of playing bass, and he started playing guitar. And Rebella Shots came in and took over bass, and Kit, their friend, took on the drums. And they created a band which is probably one of the most beloved old school bands in Hawaii, called the Squids.
The Squids.
Because they went in a very Devo-ish direction. They really leaned into the new wave, but never forgot their punk roots. So Bino Shots and Rudy Trubit come to this new band, and this is their magnum opus, Tourist Riot. Now, if anybody's a long time listener of the podcast, I've played this a number of times because it's fucking amazing.
Hey, radios are supposed to play the same thing over and over.
Yes, especially good shit.
Yeah.
And this is definitely good shit. This is Tourist Riot by the Squids off their self-titled EP.
Sleeping in the valley, woke up in the choke, to the sound of fire engines and the smell of fire and smoke. Jumped up from the bed, started looking toward the sound, saw the forest silhouettes of hotels burning down.
Tourist Riot by the Squids.
Tourist Riot.
And that I fucking love that song. That has one of the best solos into keyboard solos. They really like made their own sound.
Where are they from?
They are from Oahu. Yeah, they're
What time period, I guess?
1981.
81.
Yes, and again, this is the band that was made after the New Dreamers broke up. Bino Schatz took over lead singer instead of being bass. Rudy stopped singing. He does backup, but he mostly started playing guitar. And now I will introduce you to another thread on the other side of the board that will eventually meet up with the other threads. But along the same time, there was a record shop where the owner quite liked punk rock, apparently. And he formed a couple bands himself. One of which is called, the record shop is now called Freeze Records on Oahu. Well, it was at least in the 1990s. I don't know what it is anymore.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
I have no idea what the status of it is at the moment, because I've been reading articles on it from the past. But Barry Freeze or Barry Slick.
That's so hard to search.
Yeah.
Freeze Records, Hawaii, and then it's just like Hawaii enters record cold blizzard conditions.
Barry Freeze or Barry Slick. Try that.
Barry Freeze?
Yeah, BARRYFREEZE.
Comrade Motupu.
Yep, that's the website I'm getting most of my information off of.
Nice.
Thank you, Comrade Motupu, for compiling all this great information on the punk scene in the 1980s and 1990s. I couldn't, probably wouldn't do this podcast without all this. But Barry Freeze owned a record shop, but he also was part of a couple bands, one of which is called The Sharks. The Sharks comprised of Barry on singing, Brian Walls on guitar, Gardner Pope, the bassist, and David Nurenbacher. Yeah, Nurenbacher. And you'll want to remember two of these names. You'll want to remember Barry Freeze, obviously, and Gardner Pope. He'll come up again. But in 1983, not 1938, I'm sorry, they released an EP called Bad Day with this great song, Astro Nazis. Could you guess what Astro Nazis is about?
What are Astronauts about? Please enlighten us.
Well, I'll give you, you got to guess, and you only got 2 words to guess. Could you tell me what Astro Nazis is about?
Space fascists?
Yes!
Those
you win
are also
the prize.
synonyms for those words.
That's exactly what this song is about. And this is the Sharks off the album. No, the Sharks with their album Bad Day and their song Astro Nazis, released in 1986.
All I
That was Astro Nazis by the Sharks.
Nazis. Astronazis.
Astronazis. Fascists up in space.
The solo is.
It's fun.
That solo is such a step on the people move to speed up like that.
Yeah.
Like that reminds me of so many of my voice memos. I can just see Kevin playing it.
Yeah. It's a very fun song. I liked it. Of course I liked it.
No, I love that style of like sound, like whatever they got going on there. Like that recording style is.
Well,
like
I'm
that-
sure it's
that-
just
that-
on a cassette something.
Yeah, that specific Sonic though is like a favorite that just has like a nice special place, and that had a nice warmth to it without being too like unable to hear things. Like the drums were a little quiet, but I kind of liked it. I kind of liked having like a lot of guitar in there.
Oh, glad you liked it. I did too. But now we must introduce our main character. We introduced a bunch of side characters,
Who's the main character?
but the main character is David Carr, or Dave Carr, Carr.
Kevin Carr?
Kevin Carr is his brother, who we introduced in the first song, who co-wrote that first song.
I found his Instagram, but it's not what I'm looking for.
David Carr is a guitarist, a singer, a drummer, all-around instrumentalist, also lyricist, and he fronted a number of bands. His personal band, like from the get-go, was called The Vacuum. It was him singing and guitar, but Gardner Pope from the Sharks also played bass for him on The Vacuum.
Pope.
Yeah, their bassist on the Sharks, Gardner Pope, playing with The Vacuum. Drummer Frank Orrell, he played in a number of other bands too. Like a lot of these, there's so many threads. I'm not even getting to a bunch of these threads. I had to ignore a number of threads.
There's so many strings, I can't handle it.
Yes, and I'm sorry, I'm butchering a lot of this history and going, well, this thing just connects to this and this and this.
You had to be there.
I will try to fill in a bit of what I can. It's hard.
You had to be there.
If you want to fill in the threads, go to Comrade Mozapu. You'll get all the information I got. Probably look at more information than I looked at.
Actually, is there more on his website?
Oh, there's so much more on his website.
Damn.
He is the Punk Rock Museum, and he
Really? That's dope.
also like a political figure. Not a political
Comrade
figure, but he
Motopu.
writes like political essays that I quite dig. He writes on libcom.com or org. I don't know what it is. But his band, The Vacuum, again, his main project for a while. And this is one of their great songs. This is The Dying Light off their album Ideal Forest. And there's a few things that are very obvious about him. He has some things to say.
This is a place where they thought they understood. They made mistakes although they never thought they could. They tried to tell me that they
The Dying Light by The Vacuum off their 1985 album Ideal Forest.
God damn.
And a few things you could tell off of that. David Carr, guitarist, singing, lyrics, all of them on point. Like,
Oh yeah.
he has not only the musicianship, but the drive and something to say. And he knows it.
I can't think of what his voice reminds me of, but he fits the aesthetic very well, and I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. I had some like flock of seagull moments there at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I could hear that. Like, but
But it definitely evolved into its own thing, and it was great.
and his bassist Gardner Pope, he's a good bassist, but he also had some things he wanted to say, and so they decided to do like another band together with Gardner singing, David on drums, with their friend Ed Tarantino on bass, and their other friend Lance Helm on guitar. Now, all of these people will, from here on out, be some in and out of the story. Now, Gardner Pope, he had some things to say, and a different kind of style than David, and it's become one of the like more beloved like 1980s hardcore bands from Hawaii. This is Cringer with their song A-OK off the album The Vinegar Tasters.
Fantastic names back then.
I do not want to be a vinegar taster. That sounds like an awful job. I mean, I might like vinegar sometimes, but if that was my goddamn job, I would saw my tongue off.
Your occupation, vinegar tester.
Love sting.
Love stinks! Yeah, yeah! Love stinks! Yeah, yeah! Love stinks! Love said, no, I'm done. All I'm living for is fun. I have been put that time too long. It was my life. Nothing time I see this crap. I only bitch because I can. It all worked out today. I know we're all okay. Something time I see this crap. I only bitch because I can. It all worked out today. A-okay, A-okay, A-fucking-K.
That was A-OK by Cringer off their 1986 album The Vinegar Taster.
Fuck yeah.
I love how they break out into just a completely different song in the middle there.
Yeah, I love that. I honestly love that transition. Straight into double time. Just
Love stinks. They apologized for doing that later. They're like, "Oh, we're sorry, we made a bad version of the song in the middle of one of our songs." And
No,
I'm
I
like, "No,
fucking-
that's fucking great. I love
I
it."
loved it. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, but that was Gardner Pope, who was the bassist off of the Sharks and the Vacuum, singing his heart out, saying "Love Stinks" with David on drums. So David, also great drummer, but I think they only did one album. I'm not sure what quite happened, but Gardner Pope no longer part of the story. They decided to keep doing music, obviously, and Barry Freeze or Barry Slick wanted to do another band. The times have changed, sounds have changed, and they wanted to try a new sound. So Barry Slick again singing with Lance from Cringer on guitar, and Kevin Carr, David Carr's brother, on bass, and Rob Kerbley on drums, who would later be replaced by David Carr. But Rob Kerbley, I think that's how you spell his name. Cirbley. Cribley. Okay. I'm learning as I go, audience. This is I'm in high school all day.
Cribbly.
But he's also important. Even though he'll be replaced as the drummer in this band by David, he's an important part of this story. And so they make this band called Hypodepression, which is a very different sound from the other bands. It's kind of inspired like the goth sound at the time. And this is their song.
What's the song name?
Endurance,
Endurance. Excellent.
off the album Spirit of the Dead, also released in 1986. This one, the bassist is Kevin Carr, David Carr's brother. Guitarist is from the same guitarist from Cringer. The singer is the same singer from the Sharks, David Carr and Rob Keebsley. David Carr is our main character. Rob Keebsley will become an important side character. And here is the song. Did you get it?
Yeah. 3,
Okay.
2, 1, play.
That was Endurance by Hypodepression off the album Spirit of the Dead, released in 1986.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah, it's good instrumentation. And
Love that. Love that.
I just can't get over his voice, though. It's really
Oh, well.
trying hard. So that was the sound they're going for. And they made an album and they did what they could. And they had fun. Nothing wrong with having fun. But during this whole time, the Vacuum, David Carr's project, was continued playing. And they released their second album in 1987. And with the help of another character who will become more prominent in their career, Rudy Trubit, or Rudy Tremolo.
Rudy.
Who you saw from The New Dreamers and the Squids. And in this song, Rudy's doing some backup vocals, but he'll become like their main producer for a lot of their career.
He just does it all.
Yeah, he's there for the next 10 years.
It's
He'll be a
foundation.
part of their lives and careers. But yeah, again, the lineup for this was David Carr on vocals and guitar, Gardner Pope on bass, and Frank Orrell on drums. Same lineup as before, I'm pretty sure. I guess I could double check that. But here is their song, A Day with Joey.
With Joey.
And if you don't know Joey, well, everybody knows Joey. I don't know where you've been. Have you been under a rock? Joey's everywhere.
How do you not know who Joey is?
Yeah. I mean, he's
Fucking
only like the
Joey.
most famous person in your house. Yes, he's in your house. He's in my house. He's in everybody's house.
Everyone's got a Joey. But it's the same Joey. Don't get
It's
us
the
wrong.
same Joey. It's the same omnipotent Joey. All knowing, all
He's
seeing,
there,
ever present, staring, all staring.
Just like
Joey.
Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
And this is what it's like to spend a day with them.
Know that I should give you a chance. It's just that your annoyance is so intense. You really are a sad fellow. It's a day with Joey. 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 You asked if you could come with us. You really didn't give us a choice. Guess that you can tag along. It's a day with Joey. 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 You told us that you understood 'cause it's your life. Well, it's your life, and so die with Joey. It's a day with Joey. It's a day with Joey. It's a day with Joey.
Joey.
So if you don't know who Joey is by now, you're a goddamn liar because everybody knows Joey.
He's the ghost of the cockroach.
He is the ghost of the cockroach.
Don't worry, he's good. He grants you good luck.
On our journey so far, what do you think of how where we come from and where we are? It's been what 8 years, 5 different bands, all interconnected in some sort of weird musical incestuous relationship.
You, man on the screen, what year is it now?
It is 1987. Our journey has started in 1979.
Our journey started in 1988.
But yeah, what do you think of our adventures thus far?
You're talking to me?
Yes,
You're talking
yes.
to-
I'm talking to you, Reshredorator.
Yeah, no, I'm doing. I like it. No, honestly, I didn't know there was this much like history really for it. I wish I really would have done more digging for inspiration back when we were doing shit.
Yeah, no, dude, I like just the threads being connected here and there, like this band and this band and this band, and all coming together like the Hacksburg family tree.
But yeah, I'm having a good time just over here.
And
looking into a lot of the history and reading the site that you mentioned.
yeah, Comrade Multiple, he is a fucking awesome. We have some of his songs. He's also did a few punk songs.
Are
Really
we gonna listen
funky
to some of that too?
funk punk.
Funk punk.
Yeah,
Funk. Funk.
for
Punk.
punk.
Punk. I think it's
funk.
punk. Funk. Fink.
Funk. I like that. Funk.
Fork. All right, what do you got next, my dude?
What do
What's
I got
your,
next?
What's your agenda?
right?
What's your
Next, the story takes a little shift. Cringer breaks up, hypodepression breaks up, the vacuum kind of peters off, and so members of hypodepression, Kevin Carr, Rob Keesley, who was the drummer who got replaced by Kevin's brother David.
Kevin was? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's Kevin Carr and David Carr. They're brothers.
Kev Carr.
Kev Carr.
Good boy, Kevin Carr.
Yeah, but David has a lot of talent. I think the cat's pulled down something. Heard an avalanche of something.
Sorry, am I sending avalanches?
Okay, yeah. David Carr. Well, Kevin Carr was the bassist for Hypodepression. Rob Keesley was the drummer, who I don't know what happened, but he was replaced by Kevin's brother David, who is the singer for The Vacuum and drummer for Cringer. But when Hypodepression broke up, Rob Cribley, Rob Cribley's brother came back from
No.
no, he didn't just come back from the military.
Oh.
He was kicked out of the military. Rob Cribley's brother was kicked out of the military. Jim is his name. And so he wanted to start a band with his brother Rob. And he was good friends with Kevin. And so Kevin Carr, David Carr, And Rob Cribsley and Jim Cribsley formed a band together. Two brothers.
Two brothers.
And they came together for a few practices. They during the first practice said, the ones who were watching them, you guys are so wrong. And so they kept that name. They are the Wrong.
The Wrong. You guys are wrong. All right, I guess we're the
So
wrong.
Their album is called Ethel Merman Jism Spoon.
Mm.
Very tasteful. Very tasteful.
It's the
and
next burger of the day.
And in this, most of them shared vocals and lyrics. Kevin Carr, Jim, Dave, they all had their own. They shared a lot of the leads. But at this point, Dave Carr, well, he's the music. He's got a lot of the talent. He's got a lot of the drive. He got the lyrics, and he has a lot of connections now. He has connections in LA and San Francisco. And after a few shows, he convinces them to move to California and start playing in California, where they play in some of the great spots. They have a set spot, Green Day, Gilman Street. They play Gilman Street a few times. They play with Green Day.
Oh shit.
They are often a part of a Make the Collector's Nerds Sweat compilation, which featured The Offspring. So they were part of that scene.
Dang, that's
pretty
serial.
Yeah, they were part of it. And they tried to milk that as much as possible. This is their song Simulated off the album Ethel Merman Jism Spoon from 1989.
Simulated emotion, simulated love. One smile can sell you all of heaven above. Our bond is broken, all words are token. No feelings conveyed to you, all words are spoken. Though I'd like to let you know, I couldn't have told you
Simulated off their album Ethel Merman Jism Spoon, released in 1989, as they try to make it in the big time California scene. Two pairs of brothers, they can be called.
Two pairs.
Two
Brothers.
pairs of brothers. Yeah.
Pepper Chill Farms remembers.
And like I said, they played with Green Day. They're on the same compilation albums as The Offspring. They played with a number of other second list punk bands that I can't remember the name of. That sure people who are great fans of them will hate me for not remembering the name of, but
We're sorry.
sorry, I'm not omnipotent in all things.
We grew up on a rock that we love.
And I'm just learning this history myself, so this isn't like common knowledge.
Yeah, this is the first of mine. This is how long has this website been here?
Oh, it's been there for a while.
Yeah, it looks like it's been here for a while. It's excellent. This is so much knowledge of just a situation that this is like such a bubble
Yeah.
of many, 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 many other bubbles.
Yeah, I encourage everybody to check them out. Check out all the music there, all the history. ComradeMultipood.com, was it?
ComradeMotopu.com. ComradeMotopu.com. That's your melody now. You can put different chords over to make
You
it
could use that.
fucking
Oh.
thrash. I don't care. Do whatever.
And they were going for a while, but David wasn't satisfied. They weren't just getting as much shows as he wanted. They weren't pulling at the crowd he quite wanted. The problem is he jumped into a big pond with big fish.
Physically?
Uh,
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And his songs are great, and I going through this history, I respect the dude so much more. But he jumped into a big pond with big fish,
Big world.
and he wasn't getting the crowds he wanted. He wasn't getting the shows he wanted, and he decided he'd rather focus on his college that he decided to attend while in California. Why not?
Yeah.
At least that's what he said. But like a few years later,
In my opinion, not to interrupt, sorry.
mhm,
The smaller shows are better. Like, I haven't played a lot of big shows, retrospectively, also, but and most interviews and most artists agree that like an intimate space is so much more interactive.
yeah, I think
You know what I mean?
It wasn't just the smallness of the shows, that just the infrequency.
The infrequency and like the lack of interaction
Yeah,
is like such a killer to like your mood,
yeah, and
when
I
you're
think it was
playing.
really getting to him, and
especially when you're playing with headliners like Green Day and The Offspring. That's rough, but it doesn't devalue the musicality of what's going on in
yeah,
any necessarily way.
no, and it is great musically. It's fun, it's insightful, it's tongue in cheek, it's everything punk should be. It might not have been the exact sound that was at the time.
You know, every time I'm on this show with you, I always just wish we just like had these people to play with because they get it.
Oh
They
yeah,
know what it's like to play in a small town with what you got, and you do what you can, and you do your best, and you make the best time of your life.
agreed. And so the Wrong broke up. Kevin Carr in an interview kind of says there's still kind of bad blood over the breakup, because I think a few of them disagreed and wanted to continue. Thought they were, it's like, no, we were just kind of, working the crowd and things that would pick up. Well, David
Yeah,
says,
pretty
well, I kind of want to do something else right now. So Kevin Carr moved back to Hawaii. And a few years later, David Carr and Rob would come together in another band with another person we've seen from their history, the bassist from Cringer, come back and play bass for them in another band called Yahweh's Mistake.
Mm.
In
I love all
1996.
these names.
Yeah.
All of these names are great. 1996, you said?
Yes. And yeah, they're playing in San Francisco now entirely. And David Carr is back on singing, playing guitar, and he is now back again, the main person with lyrics and musical input, it seems. Oh, but I forgot to mention another person was there for the wrong that's been on our story. Rudy has been producing these songs for them. Rudy Trubit from the Squids, from the New Dreamers, who sang backup in The Vacuum, is now producing them as the wrong, and even doing a bit of guitar bit in Yahweh's Mistake, and also producing them. And so in Yahweh's Mistake, we have David Carr, who's been fucking everywhere. We have Rudy Trubit, who's been everywhere. We have Ed Tarantino, who's part of the Cringer, and Rob Cribley. I'm gonna sound so stupid every time I say that name.
Gribbly.
Cribley.
Gribbly.
Who's been part of Hypo Depression.
It's Gribbly. It could be Gribbly. We're all we know.
Hypo Depression.
We apologize if it is.
Wrong. Yeah.
Or if it's something else entirely. Sorry, continue. Thank you.
Sorry, I lost track. But yeah, so every one of these bands could be considered a super group.
Yeah, essentially that's what they are. They're bits
all
and pieces from other projects that have grown up in the area.
Yeah. And they come together from the band Yahweh's Mistake. This is their song Meteor Shower, and this has Rudy doing a little flair on guitar for them. The song Meteor Shower off their album Mother Night.
Mother Night.
Released in 1996. Oh, and by the way, like later on, for some reason, Rob Cribley had to leave. He said undisclosed reasons, and he was replaced by another drummer who will go on to have a career of his own. He had also in the punk scene in Hawaii, and went on to do part of another great international band, Hoy Dog Pondering. John Nelson or El John. Will drum for them while Rob is away. And this is their song together.
All this week, the sky's been falling. When the nighttime comes, we sit on the grass, staring up into space. It's one of those things that you always remember. It makes you feel like you're really alive. Drive through town in the meteor shower, everyone pretend it's the world's last hour.
by Yahweh's Mistake.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
And that's kind of a recreation of his project, The Vacuum, where he's on singing and guitar.
I love the instrumentation on that. The drummer,
Oh, yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, that drummer goes on to play again in a very famous band that I haven't heard of yet. I tried to find their stuff and they're behind a paywall. So I assume they're famous because they have a very professional looking website. But let's see, how long did that last? I have a notes written here that lasted until 1998. After a number of lineup changes at first. Then again, Rob leaving and Nelson coming in. But why did they break up this time? Artistic differences. Okay. But again, they didn't really break up. They kind of just switched lineups. And I think, oh, I know what it is. Rob Keebsley came back and he had built a studio for them to record in. And they created a new band, which was basically the same lineup as The Wrong, but with Ed Tarantino from Cringer as bass instead of Dave's brother Kevin as bass. And so again, we got Dave, Jim, Ed, and Rob creating this new band called Creation Science. And this was during the Bush years. And he's got even more radicalized than he was. And as far as I know, this is the last projects he's been in. As far as I know, I could be completely wrong about this. If I do learn about it, I will be sure to correct myself eventually. But this is the last project I know of David being in. Oh well. I don't think we're gonna get the answer today. I'm sorry, audience. I am a poor researcher, a hack, and a fraud.
Yeah, you asshole.
But here, I got a great song for you.
Well, yeah.
This is off of what I believe his last project, musically wise.
How can we believe anything you say at this
You
point?
can't, okay? Don't believe anything anybody says, for God's sakes, especially not me.
Fucking for real.
This is The Way Things Are, off the album Creation Science. And it's called Creation Science to piss off right-wingers, because yeah, during this time he was really radicalized by the Iraq War and the protests against it. And as a lot of people were, rightfully so.
It's a robot war with a robot population. Police in the streets for the corporate occupation. You keep pushing east-west divide. Oh, it's so different from the enemy. Imperialism, fascist genocide. All you want was fake democracy. But every time I speak, you're coming down on me, saying that's the way things are.
was The Way Things Are by Creation Science, released in 2006, with David Carr singing and playing guitar, along with Jim Cribsley and Ed Tarantino on bass and Rob Cribsley on drums. And so we come to basically the end of the story as I know it. And the adventures there still in California. Kevin's back in Hawaii. The David, I believe, is still might be in Hawaii now. I don't know. Like I said, I found him on Facebook, but there's not much information of him on Facebook. I'm only pretty sure it's him because his posts, his name, and his face. I kind of recognize it from pictures on Comrade Motapu's site. But on his info on Facebook, he says he's the inventor of hot dog on a stick, which
good on him. Some
No.
good money.
I'm not stalking you. I'm doing research, David. If you're listening.
Same thing. He's just not dead yet. That's all.
So, what do you think of this man's career?
This man.
This legend, this giant,
This giant on our small thumbprint.
yeah.
I don't know. There's like so much to take in. No, but really to take it from that level to the next does take a lot of balls, and to really follow through with that.
Yeah. It sounds like they.
I mean, he definitely had the sound, and like I could easily see these guys having records like all these other giants of the time, really. But sorry to interrupt.
No, I want your input right now. I brought you through this journey, and
But yeah, I think it's definitely, man.
I
He's done so much. Like I wonder what, like Oahu, right?
yeah. Started.
I
on
wonder
Oahu.
what the legend is there, like the venues that he played, all those areas. That's like what I want to know is where the history like lies back
Yeah.
home.
That'd be good to know, and like what people know of him, if there's any like stories or anything, or local legends, because he's a huge part of the scene. But one thing I learned from all this is that you know bands may break up, but the musicians never stop playing.
Yeah, they keep moving on.
Mm-hmm. And
We miss Manic Button and some of those other small projects
yeah.
like Dumpster Fire and Doom Pussy,
Pussy. The skull fuckers.
the Skull Fuckers, the Piss Fits,
The piss fits.
legends.
But I have a few ideas of similar stories on the Big Island, of through lines of connections.
There's so much.
Yeah.
There really is. There's so much. Like it doesn't seem like there would be that much like punk
It's amazing
culture, but
how
there's
how much intersection all these bands have in common. Even like I didn't know most of these bands until the people in the band started playing together, but the through lines, we worked at the same place, we hung out at the same place. Like, you know how many bands worked at Rosette's?
yeah, for real. That's because the son that worked there, Colin,
Yeah.
was a bass player, and he played in a lot of the metal bands.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he had the big property where there was all that stuff. So, why not do rehearsal?
Yep.
You worked there, right?
Yeah, I worked there.
Did you ever hear them play? I remember hearing
No,
them like rehearse
no.
sometimes. I was over in like the herb garden, just like checking in on things, moving stuff around, and there's just like yeah going on.
That's awesome. Yeah, what? And they tried. They really tried to make it big. They jumped into a scene. They thought they could ride the wave, and they didn't do as well as they wanted to. But they still made great music along the way,
Yeah,
and I hope they had fun.
I hope so too. I think they did.
I think
I
so
think
too.
they
I wouldn't stop playing music if you didn't have fun.
Yeah,
It sounds like David had his ups and downs, like every musician and person does, where it's like they're really confident or they're really down on themselves. But that's how things go. And they're just awesome career.
yeah. Shit hits the fan, but sometimes that shit flies in the right direction.
And I guess I'll leave with the story off with one more song from the wizard, the man, the legend himself, Comrade Motopu, who who has been so generous as to give us all this great information for free, like the Great Wizard of Oz. This is his song "When Harry Came Back"
When Harry came back.
off of his EP "When Harry Came Back,"
Yeah, that
released
definitely won't
in
be the melody.
2007. What I describe as funk,
Funk. Fork.
funk punk.
When Harry came back, we were lost. We were defeated and in disarray. When Harry came back, it was
And that was when Harry came back with Fade Outro by Comrade Motapu, who is much more than a musician. He is a god among men who wishes to tear down gods himself. And thank you for joining me on this journey of going back in time from 1979 all the way up to 2007. Hope you learned something along the way.
We hope you have a good night, a good morning, a good evening,
I hope
good
you don't get
afternoon.
eaten by a bear in the meantime.
And yeah, that too.
Struck by lightning. Eaten by stray cats. Just don't get eaten, you know? Being eaten's bad.
Dog eat dog world, so you better be the dog that eats the dog.
You feed the dogs so they don't eat you. And be nice to your animals.
Be nice to animals. Let the cat in, by the way, just so our listeners
let the
everywhere.
cats in. All right, thank you for listening. Mahalo nui loa. And until next time, I am your host for this week's story. You are my guest, the Reshredorator.
Reshredorating everything you know and love.